And this is Underground World News Live, September 2nd, 2016. I want to welcome everybody to the show out there. Got a lot of things lined up here, different stories to update on, a lot of things going on. Joined here by the crew, got Into the Stars.
What's up?
Erick M.
How's it going?
And Cannons.
What's up, everybody?
And yeah, seen some action here recently in terms of action in the streets, live streaming. Got some updates on some other stories as well. Want to welcome everybody to the show. Get this ball rolling. Got to give a shout out to everybody out there that tunes in, everybody that watches afterwards, everyone that shares our videos, everyone that believes in us right out the gate. Thank you to all of you out there that's got our back. Now, I want to kick this off here with a couple headlines, world headlines. One being about an explosion that just took place in the Philippines. And what's important with this is they just locked down the whole place after this explosion took place, and it's an ongoing situation. At least 15 people, they say, have been killed. No one's claiming responsibility for the event as of right now, but Philippines is also a country that for the longest time was at odds with the United States, but then struck a deal because they were going to work on going after their Spratly Island rights, versus China. So the United States has tried to team up with Malaysia, Japan, Vietnam, all these other countries down here that say that they got a stake in what's in the South China Sea, in China just trying to muscle it. Now, also here talking about scandal, this is a constant anymore with Hillary Clinton and everything going on with this campaign. The FBI says they released 58 pages of this Clinton email probe. So in it, they're saying everything pertaining to this investigation, what they found, is all in here, and what they plan to do about it, all this, but they don't come out and specifically state anything on top. You're going to have to go in, reading it, digging, to get to the meat and potatoes of it. But that's something I'm going to do when I get a chance to catch up on those. And there's links for all this in the description box as well. One here on creepy clowns. I don't know if you guys have seen this or dealt with this yet, but these guys are dressing up as creepy clowns, specifically in South Carolina. And I've heard about this elsewhere in other places too, and it seems like it's picking up some steam and momentum here. Individuals dressing up as creepy clowns, standing in the shadows, on dark roads, off the side of the road late at night, and really just freaking people out big time.
You know what that sounds like, Dabu? It sounds like the film The Purge. They dressed up in clown suits.
I was just thinking that.
You're just thinking that, Eric?
It's like it and The Purge mixed here.
Yeah, man. And The Purge was on 3/22 in the movie. That's what The Purge would happen on March 22nd. And 88 days after Christmas Day is March 22nd, 3/22. So there's something to that.
Right.
That's crazy. So what date when did this happen? This happened today? The creepy clown?
This has been ongoing here with there's been suspicious incidents, they're labeling it, where these clowns are showing up, and let's see, on August 21st, a group of children reported seeing clowns in the woods bordering Fleetwood Manor Apartments in Greenville. They said that the clowns were holding a green laser. They had cash in their hand, and they allegedly attempted to lure them into the woods.
Now remember too, in the Batman film, the Joker dresses up. They dress up as clowns to rob the bank, right?
True. So yeah, they're saying the day after that, like 30 different kids had made the report talking about this. So it's something that's happening out there, just a heads up. The timing of all this, if this is a trend that continues, this is really something to watch out for, because of all events and times of the year where someone could get away with doing something crazy like this and blend in with everybody is Halloween. And, here next month, we'll be coming up on that. Let's hope this doesn't pick up and become more than this. But, yeah, link for that in the description box. Here's an update here on the Oregon standoff. Pete Santilli has taken a pretrial loss in terms of the Oregon standoff. Now, once again, you're going to have to read into the meat and potatoes of this. It's a rather lengthy read here, and there's more stories that link to this. That's why I say that, because there's others that you should read connected to this with other defendants. But here with Santilli, they're saying in a ruling on pretrial conference motions, the judge, Ann Brown, with one exception, excludes any evidence of Pete Santilli's conduct and statements to counter protesters and the media in the government's case against him and 25 other individuals, according to this 26-page document. The evidence in question is not directly relevant to the alleged conspiracy to impede federal officers by force, intimidation, or threat. Now, Brown's exception is a video in which Santilli tells people, or tells a counter-protester, I guess they're trying to paint this in a threatening manner, that you better not bring a butter knife to a gunfight.
What?
And Brown says that this statement by Santilli is admissible because it is relevant to the government's theory as to the purpose of the possession of firearms by the occupiers charged in this conspiracy. And they go on with it, but he's trying to basically, I guess, grab the bull by the horns here and take this thing to trial, because he's not going to take a guilty plea like Ritzheimer just did. Ritzheimer and others are taking these plea deals to where this time next year they're going to be almost done serving their time, everything out, free of charge, all this stuff. And I'm telling you, like I said in the beginning, it's because they played their part in bigger roles. You can't forget that Ritzheimer was cocking up weapons and heading to a mosque in New York City, threatening it, and he was picked off by the FBI. Where'd he show up next? Oregon standoff. Santilli himself was pulled over in Ohio and hit with felony gun charges. They vanished, poof, into thin air. And where did he show up? Oregon standoff. And we talked about this over and over. Blaine Cooper, all these guys that were claiming that they were military. None of them were military. It was all a lie. And it was the stage put on. It was a honeypot to draw in the rest of the Patriots. It just fell apart, and it didn't work to the extent that I think they wanted it to. But either way, they're using footage, things he said, all this other stuff, not only against him, but to try to set a trend against other people. And what you say and do, using your channel as a weapon. You hearing that? Using your channel as a weapon. That's what they're saying he's doing, or he was doing. So keep that in mind with everything that you do, and you have to pay attention to what they're doing to others here in these situations. So, and it doesn't help when you're out there telling people to show up armed to rally against the government. What do you expect in that sense? And that's what they were out here doing. Took over the whole refuge, and that whole thing was planned and plotted, and secrets all over the place. And then Cooper and all them guys got smuggled out of there in black vehicles and everything, and left that last little posse that just so happened to be able to hold down a YouTube stream every night to show the whole world what was going on. It was just so many questions. In this, there will be, but things are starting to pan out here in terms of the trouble that individuals are getting in, the deals, and all that. So a good read there in terms of getting up to speed on the Oregon standoff Once again, links in the description box. Now, aside from Oregon up this way, we have a Dakota pipeline issue going down right now that's not getting any talk. The Indians of this country coming out, making a stand, saying, okay, the feds want to come right up to the edge of their property. So the mainstream media would turn a cheek and be like, oh, it's not even on their property, and take another stance toward them. They're criminals. They're coming down here, or they're getting arrested. These people know better. And the pipeline is set to go along the Missouri River. And they're right. Anything ever happens to this pipeline near that Missouri River, every single thing downstream is smoked. They know it. And they're out here protesting en masse, but no one is showing it. I've done several videos on this. I even know people family members that have other people that they know that have made their way down here. Hundreds of Indians are camped out down here, hundreds of them. And they're arresting them on the daily, those that are making a stand. But you're not seeing none of it. And this is real. And, you know, if I could make it out there right now, if it was definitely within striking range for me, I'd have done been there. That's just another reason we've been pushing this Kickstarter campaign to try to be able to cover events like this. And that's real. We've got 7 days left here with this Kickstarter campaign. Been pushing hard, and a shout out to everyone out there that's been grinding with us, sharing the link. I appreciate it. I see everybody out there that shares it on the daily. It's appreciated to the fullest. But it's stories like this up here in Dakota that we can't get any eyes and ears on the ground for, and unfortunately, the story's out of reach at the moment for us. Hope to change that. There's a link for that as well in the description, and what they're planning to do. They actually have with that. Trying to see what the name of it is here. They have an online petition. Forget the name, but it's online petition you can find there too to stop the pipeline. And they needed like 100,000. They were at like 60, 70, so they need about 30,000. So, you know, I know people say, well, what's that going to do? We petition all the time, and the petitions don't do nothing. They still don't do anything. And you have a point there. But it's the first step that you got to take in this legal conundrum to say, okay, we did this, what next? They're going to keep throwing stuff at you. But you got to be able to clear those hurdles and do it so they have no excuses to use against you. You know, because pretty soon they're going to be taxing you because of the emissions that you emit out of your body and the air that you breathe. What a world of hurt would come down to that. But the Indians up there need help. You know, they got screwed over in this country too. They got lied to. They got hit with weapons, chemical weapons. Well, they hit them with them dirty blankets. That was all planned. All of it.
One of the most massive killings of one race in the history of mankind, I believe.
Yeah, speaking of Indians, gosh, it's interesting you bring that up because there's Thanksgiving Square, and that is in downtown Dallas, Texas. And instead of Houston, we have a problem. Dallas, we have a problem. I'm going to share screens here, show you guys what we have. These are the Twin Towers of Dallas, Texas. And what you'll see is you will see this spire here popping off the top of this. These two towers right here, these are called Tower 1 and Tower 2. One of them has been transformed into an apartment building. If you look on the front of this building here, you will see Molech, the owl, right here. Here you see the eyes. Here you see the beak coming down the center. Now when you look down on the ground here, and I uploaded this video on my channel, it should be a viral video, but of course no one really cares about the truth anymore, do they? And plus we have the censorship going on. But this park is called Thanksgiving Park, speak of the Native Americans. And down here is what is called the golden ring. It's a 14-foot high ring. It's a golden ring. And when you take this triangle and you split it right down the middle, and you look up at this Molech and through Thanksgiving Park, you get the Twin Towers, and you're probably wondering where that red line is pointing to. The red line points to Ground Zero. Let me zoom out so you guys can see that. So it splits the ring, so there's no mistake. There's a ring down here in this park, and it splits that triangle there. So when you think about like Lord of the Rings, you think about the two towers and the Fellowship of the Ring. I believe that they're hinting because they were running gold particle accelerator experiments at
Oh,
Brookhaven.
there's more to that ring than you even know, brother.
Yeah.
I'm fitting to blow some minds tonight.
Uh-oh.
Maybe yours too. For those that need to know, and that right there is wicked. And it looks like almost like a triangle. Look at that, like a pyramid within a pyramid up there on top of that other building.
Oh, this one, yeah. And here,
The
this
far
is,
side.
when you stand in this park right here, there's a below pyramid here. It's a waterfall with a light at the end of it. And then when you look up, you see the as above, and this forms a pyramid too. So it's interesting you notice that, Tabu. So it's as above, so below. And then
Within as well.
right. So let me.
And the Masonic might as well stand for magic. All they try to put out there is their Masonic craft of building, which they are masters at doing. But what they are hiding within that Masonic term is magic. It is binded in magic. And you're going to start to see that more and more. That is what is controlling these crowds out in the street, these protesters. That's why when you wonder, how can they be so blind and stupid to do what they do? It's because they're literally under spell and trance.
Right. And here's the alignment. Here's Ground Zero. And it actually bisects one of the empty World Trade Center footprints. That's where that line pointed to. You can see it right there. It bisects the diamond right in half. And that same line, anyone can do this on Google Earth, points right to that, through that ring and through the other Twin Towers in Dallas. So then you got to.
I mean, that's pretty crazy. And just the fact, I never knew that there was another set of Twin Towers out there like that. I mean, we've got two little towers that are literally twin towers here in Cincinnati, but man, they're probably only 20, 30 stories most tall. They're not towering buildings.
Yeah,
so to see that replicated there, and just everything Dallas is, the assassination with JFK, and people can understand that in itself took place at the capstone of the pyramid, and it was a process called the killing of a king.
Yep.
And George W. Bush was sitting right there on the steps and witnessed it. Can you believe that? Can you believe that?
Wow.
They knew that this was going to happen.
Hey, Casey.
And you wonder. Go ahead.
Casey, what's the latitude of that line running from that ring to the diamond? And
it's at 96-degree meridian. Here's the gold ring here. The meridian's 96 degrees.
And that ring is key. You talk about CERN, I'm telling you, this ring is key. You're going to see here in a minute. And look, that spiral reminds me of the Tower of Babel.
Yes, this is the inside of it right here. It's stained glass windows.
Where is that spiral? Where is that?
It's right inside this concrete building.
That's it.
You know what that spiral is?
That's too much.
You know what that spiral is? In the Vatican, the staircase is the exact same. It's the exact same thing in the Vatican.
Wow.
This goes right back to Nimrod and the Ajiji, and everything that they worship in secret behind the scenes.
Exactly.
And you're gonna see here in a minute just how powerful the ring is, and you're gonna see why it's hidden in Lord of the Rings, why it's hidden in all these crazy movies with giants and dwarfs and elves and all this stuff. In magic, you're gonna see how real it is, and you're gonna see how it's connected to every religion out here through one man. And I'm gonna show it. I'm gonna prove it, and it's what they leave out of your Bible. And to me, it's explosive because they leave it out of everyone's religion. And everyone sees this person as a high-ranking individual in terms of biblical terms, King Solomon. You have 3 different religions that worship one little spot where this temple still sits, the base of this temple called Solomon's Temple in Israel. Muslims, Christians, Jews, right? Right?
Right.
Yeah.
They're all right there. It's the centerpiece. And it's based on one man, Solomon, Solomon's Temple. And I'm going to show you here in a minute who built Solomon's Temple. Because it was written, and guess what it was written in? It was written in the Testament of Solomon. Solomon's own testament, where this man wrote before he died. He told the people they had to know the secrets, they had to know what was going on, they needed to know the truth, and he left it in his testament, and they left it out of your Bible. And in this testament, he explains everything on how they built the temple, on who built the temple, and how it was done. And I'm here to tell you right now, it wasn't done by humans. It was done by jinn, by spirits. They wove the hemp that they used. They cut the stones from the quarry. These entities from all different walks of life that lived different lives. Some of them even said they lived in the time of the giants. They state this in the text. Of course, another reason why they don't want it in there for you to learn about. But you want to know how Solomon did all of this? You ever heard of Michael out of your Bible? The same one, Archangel Michael, slayed the dragon, sent him down to earth, to the abyss. That one, that same Michael, gave Solomon a gift from God. And it was a ring. Can you believe that? And on this ring, there was the seal of Solomon, which they keep hidden. And through this seal, he controlled all of these spirits. Can you believe this? This
That's
is
right.
the truth.
They
This is
talk
the
about
truth.
the ring. That's right.
This is the truth. They won't teach you this in church. They won't teach you this anywhere. But yet they all know it. All these master masons know this. They worship the light bearer. And let me explain to you this. As he called forth spirits, he called upon the highest of all of them. His name was Beelzebub. Beelzebub came forth and said, I am the last of my kind that came here. He controls all the jinn, all the spirits. Asmodeus, Belial, all these other ones that he called forth one at a time, he asked them, who frustrates you? Why are you in this life? What did you do so wrong? And then a 7-headed woman stepped forth, and he ruled that it was one entity, but had 7 different heads. Instead, they all were speaking their stories, telling what they had did throughout their lifetimes, and why they were in the position that they were in. So instead of using them for his own personal gain, he ordered them to do things to build the temple. He put them to work. And he did this through the power of his ring. They will never tell you this anywhere. And this is the truth. Now let me take you back here. For those of you that have saw this on the History Channel and you were spoon-fed lies about the Knights Templar over and over, how they found the cup of Christ and the chalice and his blood in it when they went digging there. They didn't. They found the magic spells and the secrets in, I believe, the ring of Solomon. This is why everywhere they went, they were greeted with gold, money. Why would anyone, anywhere they go be getting gold and money and showered with gifts and treated as kings all over the place, all over the planet, everywhere they went, unless they found the highest magic of all, But you see, there's a lesson in this. This was granted to Solomon through God's grace for being righteous, for praying through him every single day. And when he used it for wickedness and for his own good, to try to fight fire with fire, it was taken from him. He was too tricked. They took the ring and they threw it in the ocean, and a fish ate it. Then he fell in love with the princess, and the king found out about it and banished him to die in the desert. They walked the desert and walked the desert till they came across the river and came across the town. They finally got a meal, and they ordered a fish, and in that fish was that damn ring. And he got it back. And then he went and he took over the kingdoms, and he went to war. And this isn't the only example of the magic. You've heard of Moses, the splitting of the Red Sea, but did you hear the story of Joshua? Yeshua, and the sword swings? The whole time he held his arms up on the mountainside, Joshua won against Amalek. Every time his arms dropped, Joshua lost. I'm not trying to make this a Bible sermon. I'm here to tell you that this was a great force that was used in the Bible over and over again, and that they're keeping hidden from you, and they're using on you, in mass on a daily basis, and until you snap out of it, it's going to keep working. The only way to snap out of it is to realize that it's real. It's there, and they're using it. They're using it through the mainstream media, little sigils. Every movie and everything you watch has little blips of sigils embedded within them that you can't even pick up. We've proven it. We've shown it. Hollywood, the music industry, all rigged, ran by the same demons. And guess what? Guess what? Guess what? Y'all want to know who they've been worshiping and what they've been doing? They know that Beelzebub is the leader of all these different jinn. They know these secrets. They're the same ones that have been turning metals into gold. You see? They control these jinn. They control these spirits. It's why you literally seen them coming out of the towers during that occult ritual on 9/11. You've seen them bleeding out of it because it was real.
Here's the proof right here.
Real sacrifice that they did. That's what that was. It wasn't an attack on America. That was a sacrifice done by these individuals. You can call it Luciferian, satanic, whatever you want. They are doing this. This is the religion. And they see the rest of us as goyim, peasants, nothing. This is all on Jesuit command. And I'm telling you right now, they are wizards. They are dark wizards. You wonder why that Pope, Benedict, looks creepy like the Dark Sorcerer on Star Wars? It's because he is.
Palpatine.
It's because he is. On Jesuit command, and no other media outlet out here will tell you that. No one wants to speak on that. These rings of pedophiles, their satanic culture, what they do and sacrifice and control. And they hate cats like us. They hate us. But there's a yin to every yang. You can't forget this, guys. As much evil as there is, there's a yin to every yang. You cannot forget it. And as much as there's an evil entity that they know that they're tapping into it to get their power and control. You see? They're abusing the powers basically that was given to Solomon. And when Solomon abused it, he was checked. You see? He knew in the end that all power was only through the divine, the Most High, the most righteous. And it had to be used the right way. A channeling of energy is what it is. And they're keeping it secret, using it on you. They're basically wizards behind the scenes. And it's like, where's the good ones? Where are you at? You got to start bucking back. We've got to start breaking the spell. We've got to find a way to destroy the damn ring, so to speak. You see?
With truth.
It lies within you. It happens within you. The magic happens within you. When you awaken, that's the magic. That's the magic they don't like. That's us winning. That's us firing back what we do on a daily basis.
And when you see images like this, you guys, this is just the proof. I mean, these two buildings, here's the Twin Towers in Dallas on the left. There's the arch, and there's the ring. This was built in the 50s and 60s and 70s and 80s, long before the World Trade Center opened and before they would fall. So you're asking yourself, okay, we got the image on the left, we got the image on the right. Okay, we've got the bells on the left, we got the Baal arch on the right. Now, what's the missing component? It's the ring. But the ring is not missing, because the ring is at Brookhaven, where they were smashing gold particles against one another in a very large ring that was 2 miles in circumference. And I believe that held the technology that helped to dustify the World Trade Center. And people think I'm crazy, but then when you find stuff like this, with the gold ring right there hiding in plain sight, then you begin to see how these Masons work. They build it, they destroy it, and through the chaos, there's change. And the big secret is that there is no secret, that everything is hiding in plain sight. But so few of us are equipped to see the symbols. This is it right here, you guys. You're looking at the same thing. This alignment through this ring points to ground zero. And I can't make that up, and you can't make that up. Nobody can make that up. That isn't reaching, it isn't stretching, and I'm getting sick of the trolls coming on my channel telling me that everything is reaching and stretching.
I don't bother. You can just look from satellite image and you can see all of Washington, D.C. is laid out by Masons. You can see the pentagram, you can see the owl, you can see everything laid out, and it was done on purpose. And it just shows that they were practicing their craft back then. And that's exactly what this is a craft. That's why you see the movie, The Craft. It's exactly what this is. And the guys in Hollywood and in the music industry, they are what you would call top-level Masons and masters at the craft. They follow the likes of Aleister Crowley. And Aleister Crowley got famous. Why? Why? For all of you that hear of Aleister Crowley out there in his demonic ways, why? What did he do? What is he famous for? He refashioned the 72 angels and demons of the Goetia of Solomon's Key. That's what he did.
Think he did?
Yeah, I know he did. Look, he attributes it to him. This is all high magic. And let's not forget that that's all in the bloodline of Bush and the same cartels that is involved here and all the control and everything that we're saying. These people are not Christian. They're not Muslim. They're not Jewish. These fake Jews, Khazarians, on Jesuit command, are the ones that came in and have hijacked the government of Israel, just like they have the government of our own United States. Where this government and the Mossad, Saudi Arabia, other counterparts work hand in hand on selling out all the people, because guess what? They know they all worship the same entity. Are you getting it now? Yep. They call them forth. They give them treats. They put them to work. And this is the name of the game. This is what they're doing around you. Get to know it. And the more that you awaken to this, everything's going to start speeding up. They're going to start closing in on all types of different stuff from different directions, and they are. They're making moves, and they simply just won't talk about or report on the good stuff. Like today, Erick in Philly, got pretty much assaulted by Black Lives Matter, picked off in the streets immediately when he got there. No other person got ran up on. No other person from the media, no mainstream, no cameraman, nobody from the media got messed with except for Erick. One man with the sign stepped up that they didn't like. They threw him to the ground, snatched his sign up. full of hatred, censorship, attacking him, calling him an agent. Couldn't say why, but they didn't like him. And you know what this tells me? It tells me that they were sitting in a room or on the internet in a live stream being shown Erick's picture. You need to watch out for this guy and this whole crew.
To add to that, did you catch the point where when she was calling me an agent and then I said, how am I an agent? Then she said, because you're not being paid by us.
Yes, she said that.
Yep.
She said that, and I caught it, and they exposed their freaking asses is what they did today, big time. Then, after trying to sit there and call you an agent, their leadership's sitting over there sucking ass with the leadership of the police force, leaning against the vehicles, shaking hands, giving hugs, having a good old time. I'm like, no. In a real protest with real cats, like what you've seen up in Milwaukee, you wouldn't have seen them just leaning against the cop car, hanging out. I don't think so.
No, you'd be slammed to the ground and
That's
thrown in
the
jail so quick.
difference. That's the difference, you see? And it's right there in plain sight. And they totally disrespected him by doing what they did. And everybody else, they targeted the independent media. They tried to censor it. They know that we're on to them. And look, I mean, what else do we got to do? Start calling you out by name and then going to your boss and saying, okay, you work for this company, and this company gets all your funds from this company, and name them by name, and it gets from this, like your company gets all your money from the Moore Foundation, that gets all of its money from where? The Open Society, that is ran and funded by who? George Soros. You see how easy the math is that we've exposed time and time again, and they still want to refuse to admit it? That's why they attack us on the ground. They don't attack the mainstream. They don't attack other independent journalists. Who's the one coming for the jugular? We are. That's why they're doing it, and they're gonna continue to do it. And I'm telling you, from here, I would expect the attacks to get a little bit more physical and a little bit more plotty, if you will, if they know we're coming to town. Seriously, especially after this. They were all on you, like flies on shit, blocking your camera constantly.
Right when I got there. I wasn't even there for that long. Right when she saw me, that's when she came right after me.
Eric, were you wearing, what kind of identifying clothes were you wearing?
I was wearing a black shirt and blue pants.
You didn't have any like Underground World News labeling on you?
No.
That's so she identified you by your appearance.
Yes, she had to see an image. They had to be in a round table discussion, being told by their superiors to watch out for this man, just like cops would, if they weren't already in the discussion with the cops.
And the way how she was talking is like she was detailed about the whole thing before she had to tell me.
Yeah, right.
Like she just said it so well. Like she rehearsed the thing.
It was so staged and coordinated. It just shows proof, and it's really from here on out at these events. This shows that they're going to be looking to target us. It's that simple.
She just knew what you look like and just attached a picture, and they must have been like prepped for this before this all went down.
So not only do we have cat teams, Secret Service cat teams tracking us in cities, but we've got their cronies from this George Soros group now trying to do things when we get there. And look, he didn't broadcast this till last minute that he's about to go live down here and cover this, because we didn't find out till last minute anyway. He waited till last minute. And
I bet you they got tipped off by the cops, Gabu. I bet you the cops tipped them off.
I mean, unless they were like eagle eye watching this guy come off the subway and then walk down 10 blocks and everything else off the rooftops. I mean,
that's crazy.
If it's at that level, it's insane. But something's going on.
She did say that they look at his YouTube channel.
Right. They were watching this, discussing this. She admitted a lot.
And that's what got me too. They kept talking about my YouTube channel. I have 1,240 something.
So go subscribe, guys. We've got 500 watching. Go subscribe to his channel. Everybody here.
So if I have that little bit of subscribers, why would they come directed at me when there's people like Fox News, ABC, CBS, and all of these guys that get millions of views a day?
Right.
It
Because
makes no
you guys are
sense.
the only ones telling the truth, the real truth, and you have not been bought and sold.
What they essentially did is they tried to turn you into a story by trying to run you off the block, because then all the other mainstream media cameras swarmed you, and it was like the only bit of confrontation that was really going down. Besides the fact that they tore the sign out of that one guy's hand and flung him to the ground like a rag doll. That was ridiculous. It shows the true colors of in the mentality of these people.
Yeah, I would have stood my ground longer after she told me to leave like that. But when you have every camera that's out there in your face, you kind of got no choice but to back up.
You got to take the higher road. You can't be stupid. You got to play the cards right. You were fine. They were pushed at everything. I mean, dude, you did a little bit better. I think I would have in that situation there. I probably would have ripped that sign in two right there, shredded it.
Oh, that's what I would have done for sure.
But see, there's a reason that Eric was there today and we weren't. So, and there's a reason for everything.
Yeah, you kept her cool for sure, man.
Yeah, and
I would have already been irritated to the point where I probably would have knocked a couple of people out already.
Oh, I was completely irritated.
I know, and you got down and you took off after that, but you did it good. Props for that. You held it well and
did a great job, man.
Yeah, and Cannons, you had your own stuff the other night up there in your neck of the woods. You went out there, you covered the Trump event, and you caught some action with the guys that look like provocateurs. They're screaming bloody murder. And you were trying to talk sense into them, like, look, like this is illusion of choice, like saying, you asked them if they were paid provocateurs, and they froze like deer in headlights.
If they were paid protesters, and then they started. You can't really tell what they were saying because they were both two guys were saying the same thing or different things at the same time. But the one guy, you could definitely hear him say, we protested with progressive movements, with this and that, the BLM.
With the BLM before.
And that just gave him away right then.
Right, gave him away.
And I even asked the one guy that was saying he was born and raised and grew up here. I seriously doubt that he was born and raised and grew up here in Washington, okay? I mean, you could just look at him and tell by the way he spoke. When I asked him the question about, the Clintons having 46 people in their inner circle die and then quickly being dismissed as no foul play involved, he went right to the Clinton email story. It's like he had it scripted. And then the other guy was saying, he's trying to get you off track. Don't, watch what you're doing. Watch what you're doing. I mean, it was just the whole thing was, they were paid protesters right there. You could tell.
Well, people are starting to see more and more of it, that's for sure. It's, and thankfully, and thank you for getting out there and covering that event. And, you got to show everybody, what was happening there. I guess
it's so easy.
I don't know what it is, but damn it.
3 blocks from my house, bro. I mean, it's so easy.
I tried to. I obviously went to Wilmington to hit the Trump event right there in the middle, and nothing. I mean, it was just completely nothing. No counter protesters. It was a very quick event. They were there actually early. Couldn't get no backup batteries. It was just.
Yeah, you guys should be rolling at least 3 deep from here on out, because I believe that this Black Lives Matter thing is going to intensify as the election approaches.
Well, it's hard enough to get one man to a spot, let alone two. You know what I'm saying? And once again, brings me back around to the Kickstarter, straight up, and that's why we're doing it.
Absolutely.
I mean, that's why we're pushing it.
I was streaming in 360 instead of at least 720. I think that's why my.
You were streaming in 3D.
Are you sure?
That link. Yeah, I'm sure. We were all watching. The screen was split. You were streaming in 3D, and I didn't want you to mess with anything to shut it down or shut it off. But
wow,
I wanted to actually get some 3D glasses and go back and watch it because I'd never watched one off of YouTube.
Well, B-Rich said it would be a setting on the computer, but when I went to the computer and looked at it, it just said that It didn't say 3D option on there. I didn't see it.
No, it would have been on your phone. It would have been right there on your phone.
Well, when I went to my phone, it just said I was streaming. It was set on 360. So I don't know.
What were you using? What were you using though?
Same phone we used in Area 51, this Samsung 6.
But were you using the Mozy?
Yeah.
It's got a band of things at the bottom that bring up different. If you hit the button, it'll bring up a highlight and it'll change the screen to different things.
Oh, okay.
And
well, that's cool if I did that. If it's in 3D, and that's another first for us. I mean, for sure.
It is. It is. It truly is.
Somebody inside the chat was just mentioning, I can't find it again, that these Black Lives Matters guys and all these other groups bring in their own news journalists, and some even pay them. Like, for example, Democracy Spring, how they paid to have their own reporters.
Oh yeah, and that's the same people that were having White House dinners with the elites.
Exactly.
Rubbing elbows with them, and then when B called them out on it, oh, we're just there, recruiting, recruiting, huh? The White House dinner. Yeah, sounds like
they were recruiting while shaking hands with Obama.
Yeah, it sounds like they were recruiting you. Yeah.
Well, we've never been invited. None of us has ever been invited to the White House. Not that we would go, but they've been at the White House. The BLM leaders have been at the White House.
We get zapped. Our phones get zapped and scraped of all the information when we're outside the White House. That's what happens to us. Straight up. They sucked everything off of Erick's phone, everything except what was on his SIM. Right?
Yeah, that
all the
was
apps.
Something I've never saw before.
That's crazy. Shut my phone down, glitched it worse than I've ever had it in my life. To where it was starting to glitch 5, 6, 7 times a day, resetting on its own constantly. Didn't wipe everything out of it, but it hit me with something different, and it shut me down. It bumped me off the live stream, and then after that, it was just constant glitches.
Wow.
And that's just DC. All the stuff they got set up out there, but DC, its own animal. Like you said, as Aaron said, I'd never go back before, but same thing with New Jersey. We were talking about Jersey, unfortunately, looks, and you were talking about this too, Eric. I want to share a screenshot here of Hermine and what they're expecting it to do here. It's called severe flooding already in Florida. I'm talking severe all over the place. I got images coming from all over. Let me share this here real quick so you guys can see the track. All right, can you guys see that?
Yeah.
All right, as you guys can see, the storm system is centered over Charleston right now. It's pushing out right here off the coast where it's eventually going to be impacting Jersey. And as you can see, and it's already hit hurricane status once. This is the tricky thing about this, and this is what I was warning people about. Once it comes across land, it's going to die out some. Once it gets back over this water, it's going to start to intensify. Question is, how much? Once it gets up here, if you pay attention...
I don't see anything.
You don't see the map?
Click his icon.
Oh, okay.
All right. Once you get out over here, you'll see these two lows. This is a day's time span. This thing's barely going to move. It's just going to sit here. And Eric's got another image. You still got that one pulled up, Eric?
I actually have the wind maps for the Sunday through Monday, and when you see this, it's going to be insane.
And my point here is this is going to hit hurricane status at 74 miles per hour at least come Monday at 2 p.m. And it's just going to be sitting here at hurricane strength, churning these bands of rain one after another. Heavy rain right here. And in my opinion, it could damage this area up here a little worse than what some of these areas have gotten because it's going to have more moisture, more power. It's just going to be sitting there. All right, go ahead, Eric, if you got something to...
All right, just so everybody knows, there is an evacuation of most of the New Jersey shoreline. That's massive.
You got any
That's
of those
something that
images?
doesn't usually ever happen. Yeah, I'm
You get that wind
pulling.
map?
This is for 6 p.m. on Sunday. That right there, that's the Atlantic City area right over there. That's about 65-mile-per-hour winds. And here is midnight on Monday. They're getting close to, what is that, 80?
Oh my God.
So it's just going to sit there right off the coast, like I said, and strengthen and grow.
And here it is at 6 a.m. Monday. That's still in at least 70s.
Still at hurricane status. So we're going to have a hurricane sitting there churning right off the coast.
And then here's around noon Monday at like still a little under 60 mile per hour. That
Who
right
knows
there
what it'll
alone,
do there?
that
It's
right
sitting.
there. Go ahead.
I was going to say it's sitting in a bowl, kind of. We can't see it, but you can see half of it. From the left on up to the top of the screen, that's like the left half of the bowl. It continues around to the right, out of frame, and down to the right, holding this in place. And out in the ocean to the right of that is Gaston, just sitting there churning as well, kind of holding the big high into place.
Yeah, I'll find that image really quick.
Yeah, pull that up here real quick so we can show them. It's a good one. And it shows really what's happening here. And if you can control these hurricane systems like we know they can, if you can fuel them, cloud seed, do everything that we know they can do, they can sit here and literally be steering all these things. We've got one rolling right up on Hawaii too right now, a hurricane.
There you go.
That's it. That shows it perfect. That shows how the hurricane we're dealing with right now, Hermine, is going to be stuck right in the belly of this bowl, right there on the coast, just sitting there. And it can't, you got to understand, all the weather and the jet stream comes from where? The left over here, from the west, and goes to the right, to the east. The jet stream does, even though they're manipulating it too. But the weather's coming from west to east. So it will push everything to the right, naturally. That's how it all goes.
Whoa.
But
588.
Gaston is sitting here like a big blob, not allowing that to happen.
Dabu.
It is stopping it. What?
The golden ring controls the weather. It's almost like the Brookhaven ring is holding this hurricane in place. And a lot of people forget on 9/11 there was a hurricane coming right through and nobody reported on it.
You're right.
And it seemed like the hurricane was drawn in. They used the power from the hurricane to power the Brookhaven ring weapon. And now we've got a similar situation here where this hurricane is this vortex is being held in place. Like Solomon used the ring to control the demons.
It's definitely wild, and it's definitely tapped in there. The thing is we need to find out the locations of these facilities specifically in where they're doing this full scale. And I seem to think that there's a level of satellite and space instruments being used with this as well that they're not talking about. Now imagine HARP from the ground. You know how they can beam heat and hit the upper ionosphere with bursts of heat? That's what they can do with HARP. They can hit the upper ionosphere with these bursts of heat waves anywhere. They can center the heat anywhere they want. So imagine if you could reverse that and just do it from space, down into the top, right down into the eye of a storm. You could essentially steer it. You could fuel it, steer it. I mean, come on. It's not that too hard to comprehend. I mean, with everything we've seen them doing here. Especially with the rain bombs, these weather bombs, these things are not by accident, guys. Baltimore, the streets didn't get turned into rivers by accident. Same thing happened in West Virginia. Texas was hit with flooding. Louisiana, here recently, Louisiana, Baton Rouge, Missouri, Kansas City area completely flooded out. Here, my hometown, neck of the woods, got flooded out, hit with this torrential flash flooding out of nowhere. Like copious amounts of rain dumping in short periods of time that the areas cannot handle. And this isn't coming from the river. Like the Ohio River didn't flood at all. At all. Wasn't flooded at all. Even after all the rain and all that. Never flooded at all. It was just how quickly it came down in these areas. It had nowhere to go. That's the problem. Sometimes people don't find that out to one of these events. They're in a floodplain or in a bowl, so to speak. Like down there in New Orleans, Louisiana. Got any other images on that, Eric?
On the storm?
Yeah, I didn't know if you had. Is that the wind map you were talking about, or?
The wind map is this one.
Okay. Still, that shows how it's just going to be sitting there day after day after day.
And what's happening with this thing is it's like all the computer models are saying that it's slowly going towards the west, which means it's bringing it closer and closer to the New Jersey area. Like I live completely inland. I live next to the Delaware River, which is right over here. This storm was predicted to be out over here before, but now it's slowly making its way all the way over here. So even near my house, I'm going to be getting about 70-mile-per-hour winds.
You're going to be getting hammered. You're going to be getting hit. You're going to be getting hammered. The thing is the eye. If that eye sits right there on the coast, I'm telling you, whatever cities are right there by that eye are going to just get shredded, because the eye is where you have the most pressure, the highest wind, shear, all that going on right there. Think in terms of a super tornado, especially if it's coming right on the land, it's just going to churn everything up right there. Sure, a lot of other places are going to see a lot of rain, but if this just sits on the coast, I'm telling you, it's not good. Most of the time when we see hurricanes come through, they come through and they pass through, or they come on the land and they die out.
We're expecting to have this thing from late Sunday night around like 11 p.m. all the way up to Wednesday evening. It's just going to be sitting there.
And that's a lot of time. And, I mean, I don't know where it's going to go at this point. I mean, with Gaston off to the east and this big high above holding it into place, I really don't see where it's going to go. We just have to sit back and watch it. If it bounces back into the ocean, it could refuel and get more energy. Unless this thing can somehow, that high lifts off somehow and it can push north. And if it goes east, what happens when you have two? What happens when you have two hurricanes that head right toward one another?
It should be like magnets, where if two similar sides touch, well, or near touching,
they would deflect.
Bounce it. Yeah.
But then deflect. If the other sides were to come into contact, the other opposite sides there, it would be attract.
Yeah.
Because if this had outer wind that was caught by the inner winds of the other one, they could literally merge into one massive storm out here in the ocean. I don't know when the last time that's happened, or if it has. Two named hurricanes have come together like that to form a superstorm, so to speak. But the conditions here are right. And what I'm seeing, long as they're sitting here this close.
Well, we still got iPad Goat, the scene to play out with the massive wall of water.
Affecting the East Coast, right?
Yep, the eastern seaboard. We see the looming. Let's pull it up here. I'll get it up for you guys. iPad Goat, Sandy Hook School. Let's see here.
Yeah, what's crazy about this thing is the National Weather Service, they're freaking out because they don't. Most of the meteorologists there, I follow some of them on Twitter, they don't understand how this is even possible. How a storm could just sit there.
I've heard a couple make the same comment, like that was one of the things that was baffling them, and I'm like, look, idiots, just accept the fact that it's being controlled, and you have your answers, and make a lot more sense. You know? But being that they've been so badly abused and brainwashed their whole careers and lives,
I was going to say, a lot of them wouldn't even be able to comprehend it and or nor accept it because they've spent years of college and everything researching about the weather. So they wouldn't even believe the fact that it can be easily manipulated.
That's wild.
So what are you trying to pull up there, Casey?
I was trying to bring up the Climate Viewer 3D.org, but I can't get it to work. I was going to share that with you.
Want to give a shout out to everybody out there that's tuned in, everybody that shares the link and gets this video out there and the information that we share out there. What we do here is important. Some of the stuff we've talked about tonight here in this broadcast, you're not going to hear anywhere else. You're going to hear, especially some of the juicy stuff I dropped about half an hour ago on the Key and Solomon and everything else. No one's ever going to be speaking about that because people will lose their lives for doing so.
What's up, bro?
Yeah, glad you could join us, B. What's up?
Hey, what's going on, man? Yeah, just walked in the door from practice. Yeah, soccer practice.
Yeah, I know Fridays are a busy one for you, man, and I appreciate you jumping in here.
Yeah, how's everybody doing, man? Good to hear you. Talk to you, Cannons.
Yeah, how you been, man?
Good.
Busy.
Man. Yeah, Eric, what the busy day for you, buddy?
Very busy.
Oh
yeah,
boy.
I got one thing right here. It's just an image from Fox 29 News. It's the local news agency here. They're even talking about that blocking high.
Where's the image?
It's
there
up.
It is. There it is. Yeah, and I seen this a few days ago. I wondered, where's this thing going to go? I've been wondering this the whole time, and now that it's continuing to move this way, I'm still wondering where's it going to go. I mean, with Gaston right off to the side, Gaston. At one point they said was moving a little to the west by like 4 or 5 miles an hour, and these things got to go somewhere, and out over the water they just seem to keep building energy. You know, it's like.
Isn't Gaston like a Category 4 now?
Yeah,
just sitting there.
Is it Lester that's coming up on the tail end of Y now?
Yeah, that was just downgraded to Category 1, wasn't it?
You cut out there?
So I think that one was just downgraded to a Category 1. It barely missed Hawaii.
Oh, that's good.
Here's the scene from My Pet Goat, you guys. This is Sandy Hook Elementary here. This released months before this. Whoops. Ooh, don't play that. Months before Sandy Hook happened. And if everyone remembers, after Sandy Hook happened, they put up this barbed wire fence around the school. So it was all prophetic. Then they turned the school into dust. Remember, they pulverized it. So in this scene, you see.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, this is the Hudson River in front of us here.
Under armed guard. I'm sorry to interrupt, but they pulverized it under armed guard.
Exactly.
That's crazy.
So the point that I wanted to make here is that see this wall of water behind here? This is the eastern seaboard. This is Connecticut. This is New York. This is the Hudson River going in front of it here. And this whole thing is basically a timeline. This has to happen under the Obama presidency because Obama and Bush are in this classroom in this cartoon. So I believe that this may be signifying some kind of tsunami event.
Well, you know, only time could tell. There's something definitely depicted there. It does look like waves that come crashing through there. Then, of course, you got the Twin Towers smoking. They're definitely illustrating the towers smoking there, you know, with that.
Yeah. It's all prophetic, you guys.
Something is going to happen to the East Coast water-wise at some point.
This is the Pulse nightclub right here. I did a video on this. It went viral. So if you look here, see this circle on the front of this? Now watch this. Go to the Pulse nightclub. Remember, this cartoon came out in 2012. But yet, here we're going to see the Pulse nightclub. Pull it up here. You'll see what I'm talking about. They had all this stuff planned out long ago. was it's all part of this dark Bible, and it's already been written, you guys, and we're just all playing it out, and we're trying to decode it. We're actually preventing some of these events from happening
by talking about it and getting it out there.
Exactly. Now, prepare to trip out. This is it. You can't make this up. Look at the front of this building.
Holy cow.
And look, see this recessed area here? Let's pull it up again. There it is right here. And there's the recessed area with the red light. There it is right here. That's the Pulse nightclub. This is Sandy Hook Elementary. So what is this back here? That's the question.
Well, both places could definitely get taken out by a wall of water.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Everything is
tsunami looking.
And I was actually thinking, because Sandy Hook, there is a Sandy Hook, New Jersey. That's
yes,
a town
there is.
here.
You got to understand, that's where, when all this came about, that was the very first thing that was hidden in the Batman map. And that's what I had discovered. I'd found that Sandy Hook was embedded in the Batman map right after that happened. And, dude, that video went more viral than any video I ever put out. And you are not going to find it on my channel because they hit me with a copyright strike or they hit me with some kind of strike within 30 minutes. It had already hit like 10,000 views and it was just taking off, going everywhere. And there was probably 100 different channels out there that uploaded my same video, getting the message out there, thankfully. And it got seen. And tons of other people got, millions of views on that information, but that was me, my voice. That was me. I'm the one that put that out there, and that was crazy. That was just crazy to find that the Sandy Hook there, the map, how everything matched, and yeah, that's when I came back to realizing that there was a Sandy Hook that sits up there.
And Casey, you might actually be onto something too, because Sandy Hook, New Jersey, is supposed to be getting record flooding.
Wow. Yep. And here it is. Here's the Pulse nightclub. 4 years before it happened.
Did you guys see the new propaganda video put out by Iran this week?
No.
Where it started as it was an entire United States fleet was outside of Iran, and a bunch of kids like playing soccer on the beach, and they launch a missile up and blow a plane out of the sky, and then it started getting really weird. Like all the dads of the kids playing soccer, like all of a sudden gained power or whatever, and they created this huge tsunami that overturned the entire American fleet.
What?
And then all you had left was the American flag that was falling to the sea, burning, and then it was over. But the entire fleet was completely gone under a tsunami.
They say that water stands for emotion and dreams and everything, but there's been a few dreams I've had in my life that have been reoccurring, that have been creepy, that have always stuck with me. And one of them has always been like a Florida setting and us being in a hotel and something happening and the whole building rocking and swaying. And then the next thing I know, I just see a huge wall of water. And then afterwards, it was like we survived it. I'm running around town. People are literally got fires going in big barrels. They're scraping for everything after the water's resided and everything. Everything's destroyed. Electric's out. Like madness. And like it's just been a reoccurring dream. It's always stuck with me. I can't explain any more than that. But it's being on the coast somewhere. Something crazy happens. And I've had other dreams where we've been right there on the coast, and we've been getting out, evacuating last minute. I don't know why. It was dark and gloomy. It had to be a damn tsunami or something. But of all the reoccurring dreams to have, those are a few that I've had many times that have stuck with me that, for whatever reason, that's what I see. And a lot of debris. A lot of debris piled up all over the place.
Well, I live right by the ocean, so we're all born to die sooner or later.
I mean, you can't live in fear, period.
That's exactly what I'm trying to say.
I mean, if something happens, something happens. If I was to die in a big tsunami, then so be it. I was meant to die in it. We're all going to die. And we can't live every day worrying. Best thing to do is gain as much knowledge as possible. Be smart about it. You don't want to be stupid. Have a good plan. And prepare for events like this if you live on the coast. I know it's hard to prepare for things like this when you've never seen anything like this, though.
Well,
Like
it does simply amaze me, though. I mean, with the mindset and the knowledge that we all are born to die eventually, that we have the drive that we do,
dying right now.
that we have the drive that we do, the good attitude that we do, just the whole synopsis of the human life is just fascinating when you think about it. Because we're all, like I said, and you said, we're all born to die, and we all know that. But the drive that we have is amazing. It's truly amazing.
Yeah, and it's taken advantage of. We could be living in a utopia here instead of a prison planet.
Absolutely. And then the division, it was just so eye-awakening when I was down there at that rally. I couldn't even reach them. I mean, they were paid protesters. They had to be, because I talked to a couple other people when I was not online and in line for the Trump rally, and everybody was really nice and very verbally accepting of who I was and what I was doing. And but when I got there towards the front of the building where they had the paid protesters, they were just so angry. It's so just so negative. It was just, I actually had a lot of fun, but I'm telling you, man, the division comes from money, comes from the Jesuit command, right down to it.
Right.
It's filtered all the way through it. And the sellouts, you'll run into them all the time, every day, and you'll know them when you run into them.
What you guys are looking at here on the screen is Reynolds Park in Florida. I don't know. I'm guessing this doesn't look to be an active airstrip with any planes. But what we've noticed here is something pretty interesting. Not only do we have a massive pyramid with what looks to be the eye and the circle within the circle sitting atop of it, but it also looks like there's some kind of code here. I know we've talked about this before. They test satellites, they zoom in, so they say, and I'm sure that they do in a sense. In other times, we've literally been able to see things and spell them out. There's something here. I don't know what it is, but there's something here. Whether it's code or if I just can't make it out, maybe you guys can. But there's something here, and who sent this to me said, look, we may have a shit ton of UN vehicles hiding at this old airport. And I said, okay, well, let me take a look. I get in here and I look, and sure enough, they are all white. They're not the same, and that's not all of them. We've got more. And you can see how they're laid out in a pattern. They're not, look, they put these vehicles.
That says something.
It says something. This is a code, period. It is set up for a reason. And these vehicles, I don't know what they are. But damn it looks like there's turrets or a dish or there's something sticking off the sides of the back of all these.
Looks like DNA.
Very
it does.
well, like a DNA code.
Yeah,
right.
DNA markers.
Like a binary code.
Could
Now
be.
look, you back here. Look at all these vehicles. Look at this.
DNA
yes,
markers.
It looks like a code. And look, they're all white vehicles. What are they? Whose are they?
Look at all of them.
For? What are they for?
Look at the ones with the red marks. Like the
red
different.
marks.
Those look like DNA markers pointing out different splices, man.
Dude, it damn near does.
Put that side by side with the DNA strand.
You can see the circles underneath the cars that somebody here on the panel pointed out earlier that I wanted to point out. Keep going, Dobby. Keep going down. And you can see like circles right there. See one?
Yeah.
Yep.
They've definitely got something going on here. And this is
That's not like square parking spots. You know, that's
you can
circles
see
in the pavement.
You can see this is Reynolds Air Park and what they've got set up here. Now look, if there's anybody out there in this vicinity that knows anything, let me know, because this is going to be on the bucket list of places to have to stop next time I'm ever in Florida and I'm in this neck of the woods. I will get out here and I'll go right up to Pegasus Technologies and I'll get the best damn footage I can possibly get. The problem is this, though. My first instinct would be to launch the drone from one of these fields or anywhere from around here to get the footage we need. But guess what? You can't do it when it's a freaking airport. They were very strategic in that sense. And it's very well hidden. Look at this. It's surrounded by woods.
Dabu, hit the history button. Are you in Google Earth?
Huh?
Are you in Google Earth? Hit the history button.
He's on just maps.
I'm just on maps.
We got to pull this up in Google Earth and hit the history button and go back in time to see what it looked like a year ago, 5 years ago.
All right, Marty, do it.
Get the hoverboard out, Marty.
What is it called?
That's just wild, I thought. I figured I'd throw it out there. Just another wild find, and shout out to the cat that sent it to me through the email. Just want to let folks know that...
Who was it?
Reynolds Air Park.
Reynolds Air Park. And it's upside down here. It's kind of upside down, as you can see when I back out here. Florida's.
This is going to be creepy, man.
So...
Do you remember the guy's name, Dabu, who sent that to you?
No, I don't give shout-outs unless people specifically ask for it, because sometimes I give shout-outs and people don't want to be known and their name out there. So the heads up for anyone else out there listening, you send me something, be specific if you want a heads up or a shout-out. And hold on here. I'm trying to present Casey here.
There we go.
Present to everyone.
Going back in time. Okay, the cars are gone, but the circle's still there. That's in 2014. This is 2013. The circles are still there. 2011, 2010. Wow, this goes back a while. Man.
What year did
they look at all those cars.
Oh, wow.
Oh, dude, you just hit jackpot.
It's the crucifixion.
Dude, this is crazy. Zoom in.
The Immaculate Conception, the Vesica Pisces of Mary.
What year?
It is.
Of Christ.
Wow. What year? What year?
Look, dude, this is an insane amount of vehicles just to be parked in the woods in an old airstrip for nothing.
Holy moly.
And they're all white.
They're all white. With the exception of some having some black and red roofs painted. Look at that. It's like a freaking army.
Are these Toyotas?
We don't know. Can you zoom in?
No, are these Toyota trucks? I'm serious.
Can you zoom in, Casey? Can you get any closer on the ground?
This is the street view, but there's no access. There's no
actually
images.
Give it to us. Damn it.
Look like SUVs. What year was this?
That's 2008. You want me to go back more?
That's 8?
This is 2008.
It's constantly changing.
Take screenshots of that before you leave.
Year of the crash.
2007.
Oh, it just cleared out.
Well, there's still some there, but...
2006.
That's what I'm talking about.
There's none.
Completely cleared out.
2005. What's interesting to me is this Vesica Pisces has stayed there all those years. 2004, 2004, and 2002. Wow. 1999. Oh, look, there's only one circle in 1999. That's 1999 is 666 upside down. So in the year of 1999, they added.
What about 2000, 2001?
No data. Just skips to 2002.
No data.
I don't know if you guys have covered that, but there's definitely an intermodal right there for the railroad, where you can offload right from plane to train. I mean, it's right there.
Yeah, right there. See all the railway stations. It reminds me of that one I covered up there in Ohio.
Mm-hmm.
This is crazy.
Another spot just like it where you have all the tracks coming in.
They can get those trucks in and out of there right on the trains, and there won't be a massive convoy on the road.
You're right. You're very right. Quickly.
Wow.
Hell, they could even drop a C whatever 130, whatever the huge cargo planes right there on
Load
the
100
airstrip
on
and
it.
fill them up. Yeah, and take off with it. No one would ever know. It'd be listed as unknown on flight radar.
Yeah,
Ooh, we got street view data from here. Let's see. Let's get the street view from this corner, see if we can see these cars out in the field. Whoa.
RVs?
Let's look out this. It's out this direction.
Rail.
Work trailers.
Is it-
Nothing. They're
What's
not
the
showing
street
us
view
anything.
car doing all the way out there in the middle of nowhere?
Well, apparently it stopped right here.
This old warehouse.
They
Look
got
to the left.
lost.
Look to the left. Look to the left. Out there, straight ahead.
Yeah, they are.
It won't let you go that way, will it?
It only lets us go to like right here.
Yeah.
Oh, damn it. But if we got there on foot, we'd be able to see them and zoom in and be able to
Cars are
see what
out.
it is.
They're out this direction. See, watch. When I exit, the cars are out this direction. There they are.
Yeah, but you
Straight
were
out.
those white dots along the edge in the other direction was this strip down to the
There's the
Inside
train.
there.
What rail
Yeah.
yard is that? That's property of a railroad. We need to find that out.
Good question.
Oh, look. I can get to right here. Oh, this one's closer. Let's try over here. See if we can see these cars. Oh, yeah. That's some of the cars. You can see them right there. That's
What's the
some
name of
them.
this airstrip?
Reynolds Air Park. It's called an air park. Not an airport, airfield, air park.
Is-
And it really looks to be a prime location for, honestly, strategically, militarily, or anything else, look at this. You've got an airport, you've got it loaded down, it's out in the middle of nowhere, and you've got these huge facilities with the trains coming right on in.
Watchers.
Hey, what's up?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's do an estimate. 5 by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10, 20, 30. Gosh, there's tens of thousands of cars here. Vehicles.
Exactly. And can
Tens
you
of
imagine having to pull every single one out there and park them? I mean, this would be like Avis on steroids. Like, where's all the where's the guys doing all this? You see what I'm saying? You know how much time it would take to do all this?
That'll take forever.
Let's check the alignment.
Out in the middle of a field in the middle of nowhere? Hiding them at an old airport? It's just, what's really going on? This is right down here in the Florida area.
This is in a cardinal direction, so it's basically 0 degrees. So if you draw a line, it's going to hit the North Pole. So it's in a
Scroll to the east of this thing. It's directly connected to a marina.
It does look like that. So you're
Oh, it
talking
is.
connected
Look
to
right
the
there.
marina.
That's
Yeah.
a thing.
land, sea, and air. Right there. You couldn't have a better, more strategic spot. Literally. Land, sea, and air, everything right there.
Click through the timeline and see if we ever see any containers or military boats there.
Is that a lake or is it a part of the ocean? Does it go to the ocean?
It
Ocean.
leads straight to Jacksonville, which, yeah, it goes to the ocean through the St. Johns River.
Yeah, through the St. Johns River, yeah.
And those are large.
It's not like a river, it's a
Those
waterway. It's
those
not
are
the-
big docks. Those are really big docks.
Oh, yeah.
These docks are a third of a mile long.
Whoa,
Wow.
that's a lot of dock.
See how many yards?
Talking about
Dock is
taking a
600.66.
I've never been to Jacksonville or in this area, but I guarantee if I ever am, that this is plenty of footage of this.
6 football fields long. These docks are.
That's a lot of boat.
You couldn't take a long walk on a short pier there.
Yeah, you guys have finds like this out there? Locations, anything like this that's interesting, let us know. Hit me up, dabu7@yahoo.com. Hit any of us up, Twitter, anytime. You got something, let us know. We'll try to cover it and get to the bottom of it and it's interesting things like this. You never
Zoom
know.
into those cargo things right there that's on the shore. Or that's on the ports.
Right there.
All the ones that are currently there, they haven't moved.
Oh. Wow. Years. What does that mean? There's some shady stuff going on over here, you
I
guys.
don't know. It seems like it seems like it's very quiet in this area, with a lot of stuff just sitting off in where no one can see it. Not a lot of traffic. Not a lot of people, coming through this area. No reason to be down here. Well hidden and tucked away, man.
Yeah,
Now,
Morbo Marine Incorporated is right next to that.
so it looks like we lost Casey somehow. He may have gotten ejected. I'm not sure what happened there, but yeah, we've lost Casey.
He probably did what I did and went to close a window and closed them all. I did that the other night when I was with me and Casey. Were to hang out, and I'm like, oh, I'm going to close this window. I don't need that no more. Don't.
Right.
Close all tabs.
Right.
Well,
But,
hopefully he'll be back in here shortly.
I have the Google Earth. Is he back?
Yeah.
Oh, there he is.
Got to give a shout out to everybody that's tuned in here tonight, discussing all types of different topics. And are you all right there, Casey?
Yeah, I got the smackdown. They smacked me down, didn't they?
Well, you're back. We've seen worse glitches and problems. We've been out here.
Yeah, we
But
just
yeah, as I was saying, shout outs to everyone out there that has our back, and everyone that's had our back here at this Kickstarter campaign. I really, really, truly appreciate everyone that puts their faith in their all into what we do here in believing in us. It means more than you know, and I know it looks like a long shot here with a week out, but all we can do is keep on trucking, and make the most of it. And really, we've talked about it before, but the things we can do with achieving this goal is just going to be game changing. And you guys see, we get out there and we go after it. This will take it to a whole nother level, and we'll be able to actually get to some of these events and creep up, kind of like what Eric did today, without having to broadcast to the whole world where we're going and what we're doing. We can just be there. We can also get passports. We can also get the gear we need, the right cameras, good gear, and just have money on deck to be able to get guys to where they need to be. Like I said, I can't thank those of you out there enough that believe in us. Truly, it's appreciated. And everyone out there that shares that link on Twitter and everything else, appreciated.
Yeah, I want to point out that if I had an actual press pass yesterday, I would have been able to bring my battery pack into that Joe Biden thing with the rest of the press that got to bring their bags full of gear.
Right.
And I could only bring in my phone and my wallet was all I was allowed to bring in.
I was dead on mine in Wilmington by the time I hit the parking lot.
Right. Yeah, I went into that place with like 39%. And that's why I was so sparing on what I was doing, and I had my quality turned all the way down. I had it on like 360 or some crap, just because I wanted to get the stream out.
Right.
But
yeah, and that's what we're fighting. We're fighting technical glitches, and look, I was surprised up there in Wilmington. I was inside the building. I was surprised I was even getting a stream off at all. And I was able to hold one down, but people start packing in, camera crews start firing up your cameras. That's when it all starts glitching out. And at some point, we need a solid stream. I mean, we're doing this so everyone can see what's going on. To go to all these places and try to cover it live and to get there, and y'all be missing half of what we're seeing, we can't have that. We can't have it. It defeats the purpose. We've got to be able to fix this. But it's one step at a time, and we've been able to do pretty good thus far with what we've got. But as far as these big events, like B just said, getting credentialed, the big debates, any other big conventions, anything like that, we need to have the proper gear and stuff. And as of late, we haven't seen anything massively crazy. I think Eric got into the most heated confrontation we've seen here recently today.
Yeah, definitely.
He handled that well. Props to you.
It just goes to show that this ain't even about a color, because obviously Eric's black and the lady that attacked him was black. This is about them trying to create chaos.
Oh, yeah.
Chaos and suppression of suppression of everything else. Like, they didn't go after anybody that was mainstream, just covering regular things. They came after us that was covering the things that they don't want us to talk about.
Absolutely. I mean, yeah. I mean, you were even saying that on your live stream, asking her why don't you go to Fox News or one of these other mainstream news outlets and then put the sign in their face. Why are you bothering me?
Right, they targeted him straight up, and we're going to continue to see that. That's another issue here. Now, we're not just being targeted by the alphabet gangs. I guess they are essentially another alphabet gang. They are another branch, an extension of them doing their dirty work. And
they're just a sub-gang of the gang.
Yep, and they're out there doing the dirty work, and it shows. When they pick our guys off front line instantly when they get down there with nothing hanging off of him showing that he was media or underground world news or anything. They knew what he looked like. They literally have been studying a picture of Eric, which means they know who we all are, and chances are by now they've probably got some of the minions chiming in, listening in right now, seeing what we've been talking about. But go listen to the whole broadcast.
Yeah, we don't have anything to hide.
Nothing but the truth. I mean, anyone that watched Eric's whole stream, they seen it. It was disgusting, literally, what the woman was trying to do. Take away his First Amendment right. And if I can remember right, it was the DNC, when the only little thing they tried to do there, that lady was up on the podium and she was trying to segregate the crowd right there.
Yeah,
the whites get to the back.
Yeah, she was saying that to the press. She was like, all white media go to the back, all black media get to the front.
So
wow.
you can see and they hold signs like cannons when you were up there. One guy was holding a sign that said no hate, but they were spewing nothing but hate. That's where the hate was coming from, was them. It's all right there in the open.
The guy that flipped me off and was telling me to get out of here and call me an MFer, he wasn't even, he's not even born in this country. He was an Ethiopian dude. And, I mean, I guarantee he has
against Ethiopians, but
no, I don't have anything against him either. But my point is he's one of the paid protesters. I mean, and the guy to the right of the white dude, he was saying he was born and raised here. There's no way he was born and raised here in Washington. I know these people out here. There's no way.
And the thing is that she was also trying to say that we were inciting violence. And all that we've ever tried to do, we have to actually err on the side of peace. Because if we were any kind of YouTube channel promoting violence, we would be shut down.
I'd done been killed.
Yep.
No, listen to you. Listen to what you're saying there. Promoting violence, that's along the same lines of what we were talking about with Pete Santilli, calling people armed to rise up against the government.
Yeah, absolutely.
And as soon as you start taking a stance where you're like, all right, if I was to show myself in the backyard popping off weapons every day, I guarantee you things would be different. You see, as soon as they start to see someone within what we're doing try to take a militant stance, game over. They'll probably try to kill me in my sleep.
And to put on a side,
I'm not joking.
I'm sorry, we're not about militant stances, though. We're about bringing the masses together, man. We're about bringing everybody together to awaken.
I will say there has to be a change from the people, and it's going to have to be through physical force. And if they want to come kill me for that, come kill me. But you're going to have to replace non-righteous people in your system. Every governor, every senator, everybody that took that oath to protect you, that sold us out, they need replaced. And they're not just going to go. And if you think they are, you're going to continue to live in the same old fantasy day in and day out.
Look what happened in Brazil, D. Just this week, they impeached their president, and like 2 hours later, they swore in a new guy. It's like, where did this dude come from?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And that, I don't even think that was the people that did it. I don't know what that was all about. I really have to look more into it. But it was just rapid change in Brazil.
That would be nice, too, to have someone from Brazil, if you're out there and can hear my voice, if you know the truth of what's going on down there, reach out to us. Let us know. We need cats all across the globe, man. Seriously, not just in every state here. We need them across the globe to show us this stuff, to bring us the goods, show us what they're hiding, what they're censoring, because a lot of countries are doing it, big time. Hell, it's happening to us. I don't know if you guys seen, but I've seen multiple YouTube channels out here geeking out, flipping out. The YouTube is over party was the hashtag yesterday. Everyone flipping out because they say YouTube's changed the terms of monetization. They're censoring us. They're not allowing us to talk about natural disasters or war or anything. And I'm like, hold up. Dude, this has been happening to us this whole damn time.
Yeah, it's nothing new. It's nothing new. They're just bringing it up to the front and letting you know now. They've been doing it the whole time.
Now it's happening to others. They're like, oh, my whole channel's getting shut down. It's like, no, it's not.
You should have made a new hashtag.
Getting shut down. They're just defunding you and doing exactly what they've been doing to anyone out here that's been talking the truth this whole time. Now you're finally feeling it. Now let's see how many of you actually stand and represent your channels, or how many of you will fold like bitches because you were only here for the money to begin with. Okay? Right. A lot of bitch-ass fluff channels out here in this alternative media. And when the time's right, you better hope they kill me. I'm going to smoke your asses. I swear to you. There's snakes in the grass. You're getting your heads chopped. It's what I'm here to do. And I swear, if I'm going to die, I'd rather go out with a bang. I'd rather them kill me in the streets in front of... I swear. I'm not just saying this. I'd rather them kill me and something come of it than me just die and nothing happen. Let them gun me down in something crazy, some form or fashion. Let everybody talk about it. Let it take off if that's what it needs to be. I don't care, because I don't want to die and the very next day after I'm dead be sitting there with everyone and be like, damn it, dude, I should have done more. Son of a bitch. Now I'm stuck here again. Yeah, I'm not doing that. I'm not playing this game. I see what's going on. I'm fighting back, and they can come kill me. Simple as that. And if everybody had that attitude, relentless, no fear of death, no fear of none of it, put it in the hands of Yeshua, the Most High. Ride. Quit being scared. There ain't nothing to be afraid of out here. Biggest thing to be afraid of is I guess the unknown, but it's only unknown if you don't go searching for the truth. Not doing what you want, and not doing as much as you think you could do. You know, it's a battle out here spiritually, man. They're fighting with it. They're fighting with their spiritual weapons. You've got to know it. You got to be able to fight back.
And here's the thing that you guys don't realize: the future is in your hands. The more people that wake up, they won't pull this stuff off. You think that Oregon wasn't supposed to go down the way it went down? They had a completely different game plan. But because some of us stood up. Huh? Until it started getting exposed. Exactly. They had a whole different game plan. That was supposed to be a massacre. But because of us that stood up and exposed it, they had to change the game plan.
Well, that's why I think Dabu had such a quiet time on his deal at the rally that he went to, and mine just popped off literally 4 blocks away from me.
That's where you're going to see the action in areas where they think that they won't find any confrontation, or that they think people won't pop up like that. And it's just run of the luck. Wilmington was a dead run for me. I mean, we all three went out and covered Trump events, and it just so happened the one that I went to was the deadest, and sucks, but
you told everybody where you were going and when you were going to do it, and that's
right. True, very true. And you guys were last minute on the scene, and it was crazy. I get that. And Wilmington wasn't a lost cause for me, because I did get to see Trump in the flesh finally, and Giuliani and little Snake. Oh man, these guys are short. Oh, it's just crazy. All these people you see on TV and you see them in real life, and it's so short.
Most of the politicians are really short.
It's weird.
Trump's short too. Trump short.
Yeah, he wasn't as short as Giuliani. I mean, he's not like a midget or nothing, but like
Giuliani's short, huh?
Giuliani.
They do that intentionally. They make him look larger than life just to give him that god complex.
Yeah.
And that intimidation.
First person I went through that with was Geraldo.
But he's truly a little tiny dude.
Yeah,
He's like the Lollipop Guild.
Yeah.
Remember he got knocked over by the hurricane? He fell in the water?
Did he?
Yeah. Look
Dude's
at
handled
that.
our
I would
mustache
listen to him out in the hurricane.
He's like, yeah, so I'm out here in the hurricane. All of a sudden, boom, big old wave came over. He went down. You got to see it. It's hilarious.
Yeah, those.
I gotta cut out of here, guys, and I want to give a big shout out to everybody here on the panel, and especially Dabu for simulcasting my live stream, and especially all the people that are in the chat. It's been a really good chat tonight. I haven't had to monetize but one person. And,
monetize? What do you?
Oh, what did I say? Yeah. I'm sorry. I had to just black flagged it, but one person. I'm sorry. My bad. But I just want to give a big shout out to everybody, man. I know.
All good, bro. And it's appreciated. I'm glad you got out there and did your thing with getting that event. If more people out there would do that, then we can pick up and if something's popping off in your backyard like Cannon's had going on, pick up the camera if you can cover it. I mean, if any of us are here and can screencast it and get it out to a larger audience, we will. So.
Yeah, that's the thing about it too. I mean, if anybody just hit us up on Twitter, and we'll get the word out to Dabu. He can simulcast that live stream for you, man. I mean,
I try to take
he's here for everybody to do this, man.
Yeah.
That's my whole point, and I just wanted to give big love to everybody out there. Much love, much respect, man. I mean, I don't know, I've been out of the game, but I've been really busy and I've been living my life, so don't hate me. I'm still around, and thanks to Dabu and the crew here, Eric, my boy, and Watchers, B Rich, he's always there for me. He answers my calls every time I call him. And then the Stars, have fun down in Texas. I was there for 30 years, brother. Much respect, everybody. I'm out.
Much love, buddy. Take care.
Later, Cans.
Peace, Candace.
Montage.
Yeah. I had the chance to actually go with cannons to Area 51, and it was quite an adventure. And love to do it again with the crew. Something along those lines. Something a little bit more daring, I guess, and crazy. I don't know. Me and B running up into that compound. That was pretty fun up here in Cleveland. Doing sporadic things like that. In places I guess you shouldn't be, but we kind of pushed the envelope.
I think we should do it again.
I know, that's just it.
Let's make a list of a whole bunch of places we shouldn't be and go there.
Hey, it'll be Area
Get shot and
51.
killed.
Area 51 Reloaded.
Yeah, I mean, there's just so much out there. I mean, it's anything. I mean, I try to take advantage of being able to do what I can when I'm out in certain places. Like, I mean, fuck. Last time I was in Vegas, and sorry for my language here. When I was in Vegas, I've never done Vegas for what people know Vegas is for. Go in and do Vegas. Sit down at the card table, do Vegas. Nope. Some of these cities just pass right through the blink of an eye. Don't get to experience anything. Like, I'd love to be able to see some of the things out west. The deserts, the painted deserts, Utah, Zion National Park, all those places. And I also wanted to be able to go out there with the drone and get amazing drone footage of all these places and share it with you guys. Of Arches National Park, Zion, all that. That's coming back. But I didn't even go there or see any of that because I was not allowed to fly the drone, which is ridiculous. Ridiculous. Yeah, killer footage to share with everybody, but this government doesn't want you flying a drone in the national park whatsoever.
We're just going to have to get you skilled up so you can fly that mug in the dark.
No, what we're gonna do? We're gonna start a
I can
new.
fly in the dark. I've took city shots. I mean, hell, when I was in Philly last, I took off at night. I got the whole
No,
city.
I'm talking about turning off all the GPS and the
Oh yeah,
Wi-Fi
to go
and
in
everything.
dark. Yeah.
Hey, I say we start a new channel called Eyes of the Sky Drone News, and we just do stealth missions, and we get like insurance on the drone, and if it gets taken down,
No,
then
the best way if you're gonna do stealth, matter of fact, would probably be to be the smaller ones. Because your biggest problem is gonna be your noise, the buzzing noise. So, yeah, think about
Even the
that.
smaller ones are loud, though.
Right. It's got to be a way to muffle that, though, kind of like a silencer, you know?
You just go to Target, buy the one for $150 and crash it into whatever you're trying to get footage of.
Giving nobody any crazy ideas, man.
Kamikaze drones getting the scoop.
Do not try this at home.
And you're gonna see more of that here, guys, because they just basically said the commercial use is open now per the FAA, and people have been flocking out to get their license to be able to do this. So companies are gonna be making moves.
Flocka with Flocka.
Do you know anything on like the licensing, like how much it costs and stuff?
Well, as far as I'd seen, they didn't have anything posted on any amounts of anything. They said you had to get to your local department and pass all the stuff and take the training course. And they never did list a price. And when I finally get to go do it, and I find out, then
I think the only thing you have to pay for is the training course.
Okay. Because I've gone through everything you need to go through the FAA for my drone at this point. Now that's just that's as a hobbyist. I would be going to do this. It would be actually going to get a commercial drone license to be able to fly, which is good to have because I'd be able to fly in other places I'd say a hobbyist may not be able to. And it would also help with me trying to apply to fly in certain places. If I had that license and I actually wanted to go and catch the arches down there or anything else, maybe you can do so now that you're licensed. I don't know. But something's got to give there. You can't keep half the damn country away from us, you know? In the dark, can't see it. But, yeah, coming up on 10 o'clock here, guys. It's been a good one here tonight thus far. Shout-outs once again to everybody that's tuned in. You guys got any other stories on tap? Anything you see? Any updates?
Not me.
Are you sleeping?
Hey, I'm on a different time zone now, so I'm good.
What up, Centurion? Give him a shout out.
Yeah, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and get on out of here. But,
All right, man. Thanks for stopping in. I'm gonna shut it down here shortly.
I just want to make one little comment. For those that may be on the New Jersey coastline or the Delaware coastline, don't expect your governors to call the state of emergency till literally last minute. So if you're in a flooding area, make sure to be prepared. Make sure you get out if you have to get out. Don't wait for that state of emergency to be called.
Right.
yeah, up the whole East Coast, you would say just, hey, it don't hurt to go and grab a few gallons of water and and sit on it. I'd just sit on
use
it.
it
You got a
anyways.
cooler, fill it up in your bathtub or something, But
On a serious note, you guys, I am a little concerned about that East Coast, that Eastern Seaboard, based on iPet Goat. And this all has to happen before Obama leaves office, if it's going to happen.
Well, it's hurricane season, and it's the one spot we're got an eye on right now.
Yeah, and I'm definitely on standby in case anything does go south on the coastline. I'll try to be there as quickly as possible.
And I'll have your back if anything crazy goes down. If we can get to one of these places here, something goes down, we need to be there. We'll do what we can.
yeah, I'll be sitting on standby with the help is on the way for disaster relief. I'll switch into that mode, and if we can get to them and help them, that's of course always my first priority.
Right, right, and that's what we want to be able to do, and that's good. we want to do more things like that. We've got a drive going on here in Cincinnati to help the homeless, and I suggest other people out there start to do things like this in their neck of the woods. It doesn't have to be with money, but just any lightly good or used goods, clothes, toys, anything out there that individuals can use. Like around here, we're going to collect and we're going to take down to the homeless shelter. We're also going to let the kids experience it and take it in and learn a lesson in life, all that stuff. And because I want them to take it in there versus and I've been working on some stuff that people don't know about, building up footage of certain stuff I'm going to put in a bigger video down the road. You'll just see it when it gets put out. But I think it's important that we lend a helping hand to other people out here when they need it, and we got to show, you got to lead by example out here. And it's tough to do when we come from the gutter and we have nothing. But it's putting out that energy, receiving that karma back, putting out that good energy. It's what it's about. And shout outs to everybody out there that does care, period, because there's plenty out there that don't. And B, thanks for stopping by. Casey, you got any things you want to say to the people here before we cut out?
Just subscribe to the channels, you guys, and that's the best thing that you can do. Watch all the videos as many as you can. Stay up to date. And we love each and every one of you guys.
Right on. Eric, closing statements.
I want to thank everybody for everything. Yeah, that's all I got.
Now, you got your show on Sunday, Truth Lounge, 1:30, right?
Yeah, this week it'll really depend on how this storm is. Like, for example, if I get a power outage, I can't do the show, obviously.
Right.
But if that does happen, I would try to hit it off on mobile.
Now, stop and think. You need to have a plan. We say this all the time, guys, and I don't just say it. You need to have a plan. And Eric here, he needs to have a plan too. What happens if him and a lot of people on the East Coast are without power for a week or more? Okay? These are the prime time situations that FEMA and them are salivating at the mouth waiting on. And we've seen what they did last time, was saying they'll leave people sitting there high and dry for the longest time. So be prepared that if something's coming your way, be prepared to be without anything for a couple weeks. Food, water, the essentials. You can get a fire where you can cook your meals. Even if it's in your backyard, whatever you got to do there with the essentials, make sure you got the essentials locked down. And if we don't have any power, how are we going to communicate? Eric's not going to be able to tell us what's going on in his neck of the woods if that's the case. See? These are steps we all got to take. I'm serious. When the lights go out and it goes down, what are you going to do? What are we going to do? What are we going to do? How are we even going to communicate? Serious. We're up shit creek without a paddle if we don't get a plan together. Have meeting points with your family, just in case. Can't use the phone, at least know somewhere to go. Have that point. Start there. Get a meeting point with your family. That's a starting ground, just in case. Ain't got to talk nothing conspiracy, just in case something happens. Get a meeting point.
Yeah, so Germany starts talking about preparing, and they're heroes. And then we start telling people to prepare. We're fearmongers.
Oh, no. Fear is in the eye of the beholder. So, nothing to fear here but the Almighty.
And you won't be afraid if you're prepared. Period.
Watchers, you got any shout-outs?
Well, I wanted to say I'm glad to see that you're safe, Eric. It was a little bit of a heated moment this afternoon. Thank you everybody for coming out and hanging out with us this evening. That's about it. Thanks for having me on.
Okay, not a problem. Thanks for joining us. And I got to give a shout-out to the mods, K-Small, everybody that spends their Friday evening with us, everybody that spends their time with us regardless when we go live, and everybody that has our back, man, for real. I mean, it sounds like a stuck record, but, man, it's appreciated to the fullest. It truly is. And we're here right now, living in the moment. All we can do is what we can with what we got, and Yeah, just much love to everybody out there, even the traders, the trolls and haters. Um, all you do is give me fuel to keep on driving even harder. So don't you go anywhere. Keep talking your shit. Keep doing what you do. Um, you just fueled my fire.
And to add to that, like the incident that happened today in Philly with me and Black Lives Matter, that's not going to stop us from going and covering events. No, that's just going to make it go even more because if they notice us, then that means we're doing something right.
Oh yeah, we're definitely effective in with what we're doing here. There's a reason we can go into areas that others are fleeing, entertaining white people don't go into. There's a reason that you go down to the front lines to a situation that's full of nothing but media, and you're the only one that's picked off. You know, there's something that we're doing is right and effective in reaching the people and exposing the bullshit. And you're right, they're not going to stop targeting us now.
Yeah, you know what we should do is take a fine-tooth comb and look at the footage leading up to when that woman walked up to Eric.
I did.
Oh, okay.
She comes storming around the end of a car out of nowhere, like right there where I started it, that last video I put out. And that's when it started, and then she fell off because she didn't know what else to say. And then she sent her goon with the sign that jumped in front of his face. Then she got up, I guess her next couple of lines of ammunition, and then that's when she ran right up on him, stuck her hand in front of the camera, started pushing him back, and all that. So, interesting.
Yeah, I like to call them laggies instead of goons.
All right, laggies. Okay. We all got our names. And none of us are perfect grammar Nazis out there. It's Nevada, not Nevada. Or this and that. Look, we ain't perfect. If you don't like the way I talk, walk, look, sorry. Okay? Not perfect. Nobody here is. Yeah. I guess we're about to close it down here, guys. And Casey, you got any live shows going on this weekend?
I might go live on Sunday morning, like about 10 a.m.
Okay. And be live tomorrow night after hours. Yeah, guys, I guess we're going to shut it down from here. What next, huh? What next? What's next? We go all day and day until you can't go no more, and then you drop and you wake up and it's the chase again. You know? But straight up, East Coast, watch your asses out there. Big storm coming up. This will definitely be hurricane status come this week. And it's just going to be sitting out there. Have a plan. Serious. Talk about it all the time. Got to give a shout out also here to a recent sponsor, Essential Drug Store. You know, without them here recently, wouldn't have been able to pull off Milwaukee, other events that I've been able to get to, and then what we're targeting with this first debate. They've been here to fill the gap when we weren't able to pull anything off, and obviously don't have the funds. That's why we're doing the Kickstarter, and up until the Kickstarter's over, this has been our only true support here and being able to make sure that we get somewhere for sure. And I feel like it's been a good fit because it offers everyone the opportunity now to get whatever you want if you need medical supplies. We were talking about it before: insulin, heart medication, antibiotics. I mean, all of it. Just simple stuff that you should have in your bug out bag or with your survival kit. It offers a plethora of things. Everybody's got different ailments, and they're licensed, they're legit, all that stuff. So they've been solid. Shout outs to them. Check them out. And shout outs to everyone that's tuned in. Craig's Volk, John Connor, MN Viking, Calaman, John Cooper, Indoor Ice, James Munder, Coleman, in one lead. Shout outs to Mike, Mr. Anderson, much love. John Connor, Chardy, Calvin, what up, Darian, 222, Tim, Charlie, Truce, Love, and Honor, Elvin, Colorado, Paul, 80s, Buddha Girl, Pete, Char D, what's up? Daniel, Desi, Go, Andre, James, Q City, Russ, 14 Titus, Desi, Blackjack, Clarence, Dana, Jacob, Movie Star, Phantom, Francis, Daniel. All y'all, man. Much love. Illusion shattered. This has been Dabu7 and the crew. Underground World News Live, September 2nd, 2016. Tune in again next week right here. Dabu77 wrapping up everything that goes down this week. And we'll be pushing that final night for the Kickstarter campaign come that day too. And shout outs to everyone that's been helping us, for real. When I get a chance to repay, it'll be tenfold. Remember that. Until next time, this has been Dabu7. Much love, y'all.
You